Federalism, Jonathan? That's right. That's right. Within our Constitution, we have a federal system. It's a federal government where power is divided between state governments and the federal government. Each state government is responsible for setting up whatever kind of local government it wants, really. Like here in West Virginia, we have counties. There are some states they don't have counties. They have districts, or they have parishes. Like New Orleans calls them parishes, or not Louisiana calls them parishes. So it all depends upon what the state does. Okay, so ultimately, though, the United States was the very first ever country in the history of Earth to have a federal system of government. Even though the word federal never appears, not even one time, in the U.S. Constitution. It's not in there once. However, the framers, when they wrote the Constitution, they designed it where the national and state governments share power, and all authority comes from where? Like in a theocracy, power comes from where? Huh? The gods, divine, religion. In a monarchy, power comes from where? A monarch, the king or queen. In a democracy, the power comes from the people. Power to the people. And you guys even know who this is? It's John Lennon. You guys know who John Lennon is? Okay, not like Vladimir Lenin, not the communist guy. This is the Beatle. All right, he's a Beatle, John Lennon. You ever heard of him? You ever heard of the Beatles? The Beatles are awesome. Okay. All right, so, that's what federalism is all about. Power is shared between the national government and the state government, and it's derived, the power and authority comes from the people. All right. The reason why we created this is because the system that we had previous to the federal system was called what? What was it we had before the federal government was created? That's right. We had a confederation. Very good, Jonathan. In fact, the name of our government was called the Articles of Confederation, whereby the national government derived all its powers from where? The states. So if we had 13 states, each one of those states individually had more power than the national government. Just sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's how it was. That's what a confederation is. But that was that arrangement didn't work. It was so weak. Led to a weak national government, and often left us unable to respond to crises. Can you name a crisis that occurred during the Articles of Confederation that was unable to be stopped by the government? Shays' Rebellion. Very good. So I'm kind of working backwards. Federal system, good, power to the people. Federal government, state government, power shared. Before that, confederation, powerful states, not powerful federal government. What did we have before that? What did we have before the Articles of Confederation? We had a king. We were under the power and the authority of the British Crown. That system of government is called a unitary system. Uni, meaning one. You ride a unicycle, it's got one wheel. You ride a unicorn, then you're taking too many drugs. The unitary system was found in Great Britain, and that's what we had when we were the colonies. Now, it is a very central authority where all the power is derived from the king. Yeah, the tyrant. Both, we had two failed attempts before we got it halfway right. I'm not saying this is perfect, what we got now. By no means is it perfect. But it's better than this, and it's better than this. Okay? And it's kind of a mixture of the two. This one's way too strong. This one's way too weak, and I guess this one's Goldilocks. Just right. Right? Okay, so we saw, we fought a war to get rid of this one because it was too strong. Almost had to fight a war to get rid of this one, but we had a convention and got it figured out, and then we came up with that, the federal system. All right? So our framers feared this. They were afraid of this, and that's why they created such a weak government in the Articles of Confederation. Okay? So you got that's your three different types of government that we've had. All right? It's all the way in which, whenever we're talking about federalism, the amount of power each level would have, it can change. It can change. It can change to the point where it totally changes the system. If the states are very powerful, that's a confederation. If the federal government's very, very, very powerful, that's a unitary system. But if you mix it up, you get a good healthy mix. That's the federalism. That's the what we have with today. Okay. So it's all about where power is divided to and where that power comes from. In America, we like to say that the power comes from the people. The people get what they want. There are obviously instances where that's not always the case, but there are also instances where it is. All right? And that is what we're going to be looking for and identifying in this chapter on federalism. So does anybody have any questions about my little introduction to federalism? Turn your phone off. Anybody? No questions at all? Ah, the unquenchable thirst for knowledge. All right.